Hello, good people of YouTube. Sealord here, and today, if you take a gander into the armory, you will see that the auction tab has appeared. And that means the Black Friday auction is upon us. At the time of recording, we have roughly 15 hours left before the auction kicks off. So that means it's going to start around 6 o'clock in the morning U.S. Central Time. And what's up for auction? Well, the main items are, of course, the Smolensks. How do you say plural Smolensk? Smolenkai? How do you say it? But anyway, so the Smolensk and the Smolensk B are up for auction. Now you might be wondering, well, how much? Doesn't say in the armory if you get there before the timer counts down, but apparently, and this sounds about par for the course, quite a bit, fellas. So if you want the Smolensk, the OG Smolensk, the ship that lives rent-free in every Battleship player's head from 2018, that fella starts at 35,000 doubloons. 35,000. That's $140. That's where the bidding starts at. Okay, so then the Smolensk B, which is the black version, it's exactly the same ship as the Smolensk. It just has a B behind its name. It comes with a neat black camouflage. That starts for 350,000 gold. Bit better of an option there. Now, both of these Smolensk have 1,000 of them up for auction each, so 2,000 Smolensk in total will be released upon the various servers. So, right off the bat, Wargaming gonna make some money from this event. Like, they gonna make a lot of money for a digital item which they've had to put minimal effort into at this point. You know, it's Smolensk came out in 2018, 2019, so it's a 4-year-old ship at this point. So I think they've recovered the cost of actually, modeling her in game and such. They are going to make, if it somehow goes for the bare minimum, if all the whales that are going out to get the OG Smolensk agree to put in 35,000 dubs exactly, Wargaming will make at a minimum in this auction 140,000 US dollars. That's how much 35,000 gold is. But, my dear viewers, as I'm sure most of you know, they often don't sell ships for just the beginning price. The Musashi, which I think had a similar starting price, maybe a little bit lower because it was a tier 9. The Musashi went for 41,000 doubloons, which that's just, I think, a little bit shy of $200. I think that's $180 worth of dubs. So yeah, they made like $164,000 with the Musashi. No wonder we're getting this event over and over again. Now the Smolensk, the question is, what do we think the Smolensk is going to go for? I would be willing to say it's probably going to be going for 45, 50,000 dubs. So I'd be willing to bet closer to 50 with the reputation that the ship does have, so around $200 per worth of doubloons. And again, if we do some quick math, $200 times 1,000 Smolensk being sold, that's $250,000 that Wargaming is going to make on one day with this thing. Probably, if it goes for that much. If not, a little bit less than that. But that's still kind of crazy when you think about it. Now, of course, the question is it worth attempting to get her in this manner? Well, the Smolensk that you've probably heard about, and the Smolensk that you've seen in all the YouTube compilations from back in the day, and the ones you've read about on the forums before they got nuked, and you read the Reddit post about how crazy that ship is no more. That ship doesn't exist. The Smolensk herself has been nerfed by Wargaming. And I think she got a few small nerfs, but then the commander rework really punched her in the gut. The whole thing about the Smolensk back in the day is that you could get this ship with her 16 rapid-firing guns out to 20 kilometers with the range module, which meant you could rain hellfire down upon BBs from 20 kilometers away with Soviet guns, with comfortable ballistics. It was absolutely crazy back in the day, and again, why many a battleship player hates this thing. And it's why most battleships will try to make you cease to exist the second you pop up on their mini-map for that reason. Now, with the commander rework, that absolutely crushed her range. She's down to 16 kilometers now, which is more better in my opinion. The ship needed to be nerfed. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying it's a terrible thing that the ship got nerfed. I'm a battleship main. This thing lived rent-free in my head for years, right? So it's good that it got nerfed. So she's down to 16 kilometers now, and that is with the range mod. If you don't want to take the range mod, you want to take the reload module. Yeah, you're a proper light cruiser if you do that right with the range. So that happened. And her other thing that's really annoying is that her armor profile, the way it works, when you're broadside to the enemy battleships and they finally get to blap you because the armor's so flippin' thin, the shells just go right through in most cases. So that's incredibly annoying, and that hasn't changed. So yeah, if you shoot this thing broadside, unless you've got like short fuse AP or some weird physics stuff happens, you're probably going to overpin it. Shoot it angled, surprisingly, you're going to clap the thing, but she has a smoke screen that she can hide in with the hydro as well, and she actually has usable torpedoes, 8-kilometer torps, and all that jazz. So the ship today, in her current state, is not a bad ship. It's a really good ship. It's a really strong light cruiser, even after the nerfs. I mean, it's so simple to play. You just pop a smoke screen and just start melting stuff down with your HE. And if something slips up and shows your broadside, load your AP. And since it's Soviet guns, they will absolutely chew through the extremities of your ship. If you could hit the bow or the stern, the superstructure, whatever ship is showing your broadside, the AP will put work in because, again, it's that good old Soviet AP. Now, is it $140 or $200 good or $300 good or whatever the hell it's going to go for in the auction? No, it's not that good. I hate to say. Now, honestly, if it somehow goes for like $180, which is the cost of a tier 10 premium out the shop, that's actually not bad. But it's probably not going to, because $180, I think that's what, 40,000 right on the... No, that's not... Nope, that is. Okay, that's 42,000 doubloons. I got the premium shop open right now, and I'm just double checking this. Yeah, it's about 45,000 dubs. So, 45,000 dubs, $180 for a tier 10. That's what they go for in the shop. That's what you would normally buy a tier 10 from the shop. So, yeah, I mean, for a normal tier 10, and you get a Smolensk out of it, yeah. But it's probably not going to go for that. And here's the thing. They advertise the auction as risk-free. You get your doubloons back if you don't get the ship, right? If you bid too low, you get it back. If you don't know the way that works, whatever the lowest winning bid is, that's what everybody pays. And if you're wondering how that works, well, 1,000 of these Smolensk have been put up for auction, and they're going to look at the highest 1,000 bids. Whenever the lowest of those 1,000 bids is, that's what everyone's going to pay. So let's say the lowest bid is like 50,000 dubs. Everyone's going to pay 50,000 dubs. So the guy that put 169,000 doubloons into the auction, he's going to get, all that back minus the 50,000 dubs for the winning bid. And if you underbid, then, well, you get your doubloons back as well. Now, the catch here is that Wargaming gets your money either way. It's not like if you don't win the ship, they're going to refund you the doubloons. They're not. They generally don't refund doubloon purchases unless it's a mistake, right? So they got your money either way. It doesn't matter if you dump it into the auction or not. You still have to buy those doubloons. And again, they don't refund them. So when we were talking about what Wargaming is probably going to make this weekend whenever this auction goes up, that's just talking about the doubloons that are being used directly in the auction and what's going to be removed from players' account. That doesn't count the, I don't know, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 doubloons that they might buy in order to ensure that they have enough. That's not going to count the, the 35 and the 40,000 doubloons some players are going to buy, and they may not be able to, place a high enough bid with those doubloons, so they still get them back to their account. But Wargaming still makes money because, again, they're not going to refund the doubloons back to the players if they want to do that after the auction. I'll be very surprised if they do. Again, in the past, they generally don't do that. So, Wargaming wins either way. Now, again, if you're going into this full knowing well that the Smolensk is a nerf ship, it's not what it used to be. It's still good, but it's not what it once was. And you're okay with dumping 300, 400, 500 bucks worth of doubloons into the game, great. I'm happy for you. I think the auction overall is a really solid thing. I just, hate when they do stuff like this. They dangle a ship that's been removed, that has a reputation for being pretty powerful, but now is, a shadow of its former self in front of the player's eyes in order to try and, extract money from their wallets. Now, it really grinds my gears that the Smolensk B is also in the auction. Historically, for the past 5 or 6 years, Black Friday ships are discounted versions of the ship that's in game. So, like, the Asaccio B, it's the Asaccio, but it's got a little bit of a discount on it. Massachusetts B is the Massachusetts, but it's got a little bit of a discount on it. They're generally a bit cheaper than, those ships. But with the Smolensk B, of course, it's going to be put into the auction. Now, it is in the auction for coal. I'll give them, kind of a pass there that it's in the auction for coal, something that, players can save up for. They did announce this quite some time ago, so there's been some time for players to start saving up their coal. But, yeah, I mean, like, really. And I get they may be trying to control the amount of Smolensk in the game because the ship is still pretty powerful. They don't want to flood the servers with it. I can understand that, but it's not even in the containers, right? So, like, you can't really earn a chance at getting a Smolensk B, even though it would be a pretty small chance. So, I'm kind of torn with the Smolensk B, right? So, that's... What do you guys think about that? I mean, it's in the auction, it's for coal, so it's still free, but, unless you're sitting on a pretty nice mountain of coal already, I doubt, the average player has a real chance at hooking a Smolensk B out of this auction. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on both of the Smolensk that are in the auction right now. The moral of the story is, if you are looking for Smolensk that's like the ones you see in the clips and the YouTube videos and the Reddit posts and the forum posts from back in the day, it's not the Smolensk. And in my opinion, it isn't worth what it's probably going to go for. If it somehow goes for 180 bucks and that's all everyone pays, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. But it's probably not. It's probably going to be in the 50s if I had to guess, because again of the ship's reputation and the fact that it is a tier 10 ship. But that's my 2 cents on this auction, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday and wonderful rest of your week. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.